It's interesting to watch, especially when we're going through a U.S. banking crisis and a European banking crisis. So it makes sense, right, that you have money from a banking sector where all of a sudden it reinforces why there's a need for cryptocurrency and specifically Bitcoin, that money is going to rotate into Bitcoin. And so it makes sense during a banking crisis that you're going to see Bitcoin dominance gain.
Hey guys, welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we have Gareth Soloway discussing the current state of the crypto market and where Bitcoin is headed in the coming weeks. Soloway notes that Bitcoin has been consolidating around 26,700 and just below 21,000, indicating a flat market with no significant movement. Bitcoin rallied almost 70% in the first 3 months of the year, contradicting expectations for a continued market decline. Soloway suggests that the market needs to break through and stay above the $30,000 level before turning bullish. He points out the importance of technical analysis during this time in determining market movements and emphasizes the need to wait. Soloway also observes the Bitcoin dominance chart, highlighting its consolidation phase, and predicts that the market is due for a pullback. Let's get right into the latest interview with Gareth Soloway as he gives us his prediction for Bitcoin and the crypto market in the coming weeks. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. It's a tremendous help for the growth of the channel and helps us bring you more content just like this.
For me, again, this is a chart where it just continues to chop sideways. Now, this could be consolidation. That's very possible, maybe even bullish consolidation. My issue still is that we still have not cleared this area here. So essentially, from the last time we talked, it was, can we get above 30,000 and can we stay above 30,000? As of now, we haven't. What we've been doing is basically playing pinball with this support here at around 26.7 and around 28.7. So look at how you're just jumping back and forth. And again, to me, this is just dead markets right now. I mean, there's not a lot going on. We're still waiting for that next bigger move to occur. And I think that's what's going to, be the determining factor here. We tested this 26,700 level, and it actually held. So I think that's a positive. You want to see that hold. You don't want to see a break of that consolidation pattern. So I guess for me, it's looking at this and saying, okay, guys, on the upside potential, I actually am leaning towards this, maybe making another move up here to the 30,000 level. In addition, I think we have to look at the 30,000 as being a very psychologically important level for the market, right? Think about the even number, think about where this was back in 2021 when the market collapsed in between the two bull market moves. And this is all around that 30,000 level. If you ask me where Bitcoin is in 2 years, I'd go long right now and I'd hold, right? So that's not an issue. I'm a huge long-term bull fan of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies in general. But the bottom line is that you haven't broken, right? So I'm someone who's like, show me the money, show me the levels, right? And the bottom line is if you look at this chart, we're right up against this level. So as much as my heart wants to say, okay, Bitcoin race higher, as long as my gut says, oh, I hope it does, the charts are the ultimate arbiter of what I do, right? And right now we're still into resistance. So until we prove that we can break resistance, I can't turn bullish, right? It's all about probabilities. Probabilities are everything. And right now we're still into resistance. Once we get above 30,000 and we close above 30,000, I'm waiting for a couple days to make sure that it stays there. And then my thesis says, okay, now the bottom has been proven that it is in on Bitcoin.
It looks like this dominance chart ain't stopping. Do you watch Bitcoin dominance? Is that one of the charts that you look at?
I do pay attention to it. Again, when it comes to trading in general, I don't focus too much on it, but it's interesting to watch, especially when we're going through a U.S. banking crisis and a European banking crisis. So it makes sense, right, that you have money from a banking sector where all of a sudden it reinforces why there's a need for cryptocurrency and specifically Bitcoin, that money is going to rotate into Bitcoin. And so it makes sense during a banking crisis that you're going to see Bitcoin dominance gain. So right off the bat, you definitely have, so there's a resistance point right here, right? So that's, look at where we currently are and look at where price is, right? It's right into resistance. So you're into resistance on the Bitcoin dominance chart right here. That's, again, that is a beautiful trend line. I actually haven't seen this one before. Just saw it as I was pulling this up. But that to me tells me that we're consolidating just underneath it. It's still resistance. Can it break out? That's going to be the big question. But right now it's into resistance. You would say, okay, it's due for a pullback until it breaks. So for years, I've said that China wants to be the reserve currency of the world, and I think this is just one step in that direction. The biggest thing for me is that type of movement is going to take years to happen. So it is starting. You're absolutely right. It is starting 100%, but it's just going to take a while for it to actually gain traction. So this is, again, it's another reason to own gold. It's another reason to own Bitcoin on the long term. If you have that long-term outlook, then this is where you want to be. Absolutely.
Soloway suggests that during times of crisis in the banking sector, such as the current US and European banking crises, money may rotate into Bitcoin, leading to an increase in Bitcoin dominance. Soloway also talks about China's moves towards a digital yuan to become the new reserve currency of the world.
Bottom line is this, it's just an alternative. It's one more way to protect yourself. So, I'm a big believer in diversification. I know you are too, right? You never put all your eggs in one basket. That's how we get in trouble. So again, you have some Bitcoin for the long term. You have a little gold for the long term. If you think about it, Bitcoin is still controllable by governments, and that's my biggest concern, right? So again, if I have my money in Coinbase and the government comes in and shuts down Coinbase and locks it down, how do I get my Bitcoin out, right? There are other ways, obviously, but with gold, if I have a physical piece of gold in my hand, I can go anywhere in the world with that gold and I can do what I got to do. So again, I think you have to just look at it and diversify across the board. Gold's chart has a short-term breakout. It's still headed for double top here. I think, again, you're going to see gold well above 2,100 by year end, maybe even 2,300. For me, it's more of looking at the equity markets. And I think the next sell in Bitcoin will come from issues like economic recession in the US, where we see the stock market collapse substantially, right? And so you're going to see another 25% down in the S&P 500, let's say in the second half of 2023. And that will just panic people into selling. Unfortunately, you're going to get this bleed through into other risk assets where Bitcoin also sells off when that does happen. And again, remember, you have margin, right? So people that are invested in stocks, they're going to get margin calls. They're going to say, oh, well, I don't want to sell my stocks and take that loss, so let me sell a little Bitcoin and bring that money into the stock portfolio. I think, honestly, that's what we're going to see. We're going to see kind of a secondary. It's not going to be Bitcoin related. It's not like Bitcoin has an issue. It's going to be more of a panic in the overall equity markets that will bleed into crypto.
As China moves towards a digital yuan, Soloway sees it as another reason to own gold and Bitcoin on a long-term basis, as they are assets that can provide a hedge against uncertainty and volatility in the global financial system. Soloway believes that the next sell in Bitcoin may come from issues like an economic recession in the US that could lead to a substantial collapse in the stock market. This could cause panic selling in Bitcoin and other risk assets as people try to cover margin calls or bring money into their stock portfolios. Soloway continues a long-term bullish stance on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. He emphasizes the importance of diversification and reinforces the idea that during a banking crisis, the need for cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, is a crucial asset to have. What do you think about Gareth Soloway's prediction for Bitcoin and the crypto market in the coming weeks? And how does this impact countries that hold the US dollar as their reserve currency? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.